Hi everybody, and welcome back to my kitchen. Today we're going to make a nice holiday cookie, but I have them all year round because I'm so fond of them. And they have about as many names as you could mention. They're called all different kinds of names, but our family calls them Sandtarts. And they're simple, they're a delicate cookie, and they're wonderful around the holidays. Well, in this bowl here, I have 2 cups of plain flour. I'm going to add 5 tablespoons of confectionery sugar. I'm going to mix it up with my hands. Alright, this is going to make kind of a stiff dough, so don't be alarmed. Now that is all that's going in it. Not everything, but I'm just saying there's no more added sugar. Excuse me, there's no milk. So far this is just all the ingredients. Right here is the sugar and the flour. I'm going to try to get some of the lumps out. I didn't sift this flour because I never have, and they always come out wonderful, so I'm not going to start now. Alright, now to that I'm going to add 2 sticks of softened butter. And you cannot substitute. You must use butter. Now my butter is salted. I don't find any advantage to using unsalted butter. I don't think it adds a thing. Not even to delicate pastries. I just think that's just such a farce. But if you want to use unsalted butter, you go right ahead. I'm just saying I don't. I use salted. I've always used salted. There we go. We're going to mix all of this together. I need something to wipe my hands on now. And I'm going to, excuse me, I'm going to start out with a fork. Excuse my hands because they have flour all over them, but here we go. Alright, when I get through incorporating all of this, I'll bring you back. But, you know, if you want to use a mixer, go ahead. I just hate to clean one right now. So I'm using a fork. It won't take but a minute. Alright, I had to go ahead and use my mixer. I couldn't get it creamed because you have to cream the flour and the excuse me, butter. I'm sorry. And I just couldn't get it creamed using a fork. Now the only other ingredient that's going in here, there's no vanilla, there's no salt, there's nothing else going in but a cup of chopped nuts. Now my nut of choice is pecans because they're plentiful here. And I'm going to mix these in because I don't want them broken up any smaller than what they are. Now I've preheated my oven to 350 degrees, and you're going to use the center rack right in the middle. These cookies, they're not brown when you take them out. They're going to be a light golden color. So don't overcook them. Anyway, and you'll see they hold together real well. They're just stiff. The batter is very stiff because it's nothing but flour and butter. And, you know, a few tablespoons of powdered sugar. And I want all those nuts in there. All right. Let me get my hands in here. Can you see? I want these mixed good. So I'm going to use my hands because this batter is so thick, heavy. It's a heavy batter, but that isn't at all like the cookies bake out. They're very delicate. Very delicate. Alright, now these can either be formed into crescents, which is how I used to make them, but it's so time consuming that I just started making them into little balls. So, whoops, sorry about that. Alright, I got my nuts mixed in. And you see it holds together real well. Okay, so I got my baking sheet. And I got this little scoop here. And I'm just going to scoop them and set them on a cookie tray. You don't have to be careful about how far apart you put them or any of that because they're not going to rise. So you just get them on there. And they're going to bake 20 to 25 minutes, but I'd keep an eye on them if I were you. And I'm going to finish filling up this tray and then we'll be back. Alright, I got all my cookies on the tray and it makes 4 dozen, 48 cookies. I'm getting ready to pop them in the oven now. Some of the edges on them were a little ragged looking, so I just took them and pushed them in because if you don't, they'll break off after they're cooked, so you might as well take care of it now. We'll be back. Alright, my cookies are done. It took mine about 20 minutes. Maybe it's because I made them smaller, I don't know. I'm going to bring the sheet over here so I can show you. See, they're just very light, very light. And I turned one over so you can see the bottom is just lightly browned. And I've got a bowl right here of confectionery sugar. And I'm going to take some of these and just put them in there. When I get that bottom covered, I'll put another layer of icing on top of them. Be careful with them because they are delicate. They really are. Delicate cookies. Alright. And I got that idea from Bev on our half-acre homestead, which I thought was a real good idea because what I used to do was leave them on the tray and dust them that way. But this looks so much better that I'm going to use her method. Alright, let me get the rest of the cookies in here. When I get them all covered up and they're ready to come out, we'll be back. Well, the cookie's been sitting in this confectionery sugar for quite a while. And what you do is feel the sides of the bowl. And if it's cold or almost cold, then, you know, they're ready. They're ready to be pulled out. So I'm going to move my bowl aside. And I have a cookie tin, and the way I line it is I just fold the corners down to cover the bottom. That's all I do. And then you just take them out, and they're so well coated. And I thank you, Bev, from our half-acre homestead for that idea. So you just, and see that one, the icing is not quite melted. I mean, it did melt on the top, so I want it to coat a little more. So here we go. And you just start putting them in there. And put them in your tin. And they make a beautiful, beautiful, beautiful presentation at Christmas because they're just so appealing. And these cookies will melt in your mouth. They're that good. They are really delicate and one of the best cookies I've ever had. So we look forward to them every year, although I do fix them when it is not holiday season. Because as I've told you before, whatever I like, I'll fix all year round. I don't care what the season is. But in any case, these are my my family's recipe, and they're called Sandtarts. And I hope you try them, and I promise you, you'll love this cookie. Give me a thumbs up if you like this recipe. And please subscribe if you haven't. Thank you for spending part of your day with me. Until next time, you take care.